Ventriloquist goes into a Irish pub and does his little show on stage, and most of his jokes are Irish centered. And after about the third or fourth joke, they weren't going over well, but old Sean O'Reilly stands up and says, enough of the Irish jokes. You're trying to make us all look stupid. If I hear one more joke out of you, I'm going to come up there and I'm going to pop you right in the kisser. And the ventriloquist is totally caught off guard. And he's like, oh, well, I'm sorry, sir. And he goes, oh, no, I wasn't talking to you. I was talking to the wee lass on your lap. Yeah. Ireland, St. Patrick's Day. When you think of St. Patrick's Day, what comes to mind? Is it the patron saint of Ireland who drove the rats from the country, who used the clover as an example of the Trinity, and that's where the color green comes from? Is it all that, or is it green drinks and leprechauns? Well, I'm inclined to think it's the latter, and that's what we're all about today. Today we're going to make a little leprechaun bust. Just like that. It's made from a piece of 1.5 by 1.5 by 4.5 inch basswood. And yeah, that's what we're going to carve up today. So if that's something you want to do, stick around and we'll jump right into it. Alright, we've got our block of wood here. Like I said, it's 1.5 inch square by 4.5 long. So let's just mark from the bottom. Let's go up 1.5 inches and mark this around here. This is going to be the top of our shoulders. Right? And in this case, again, we're working from the front point. So we're going to work our nose off of the front point, okay? So let's just go. If this is the shoulders here, let's give it another 3/8. We'll call that the bottom of the nose. All right. And then from there, we'll give it, we'll call it 1 inch. We'll call it 1 inch because it is 1 inch, okay? Give it another 1 inch here. That's the bottom of the hat. And the hat's going to have a little taper to the back, but we'll work that in after. On the corners here, let's save a good 1/2 inch on the corners. This is going to be our little ear area. So that's the bottom of the nose. Let's just come across a little bit higher. All right. We'll save that area for the ears. So we'll run that hat around here. All right. And then we'll just drop it a little bit at the back. So grabbing our knife here, let's just knock these shoulders in. On the 3 sides, not on the front side. All right. Like so. Do the other side. This is where an 1 3/4 knife is nice. I can get right across that digger in. All right. Now, this is the bottom of the nose, so we'll just kind of put a little notch in there. Just kind of roughly lay out this whole thing before we lose our measurements. We'll make that nice, deep, good 1/4 inch to start with. All right. And we can bring that down too. All right, let's come up a 1/2 inch from the bottom here. Let's just put a little cut in there, maybe 5/8 from the bottom. All right. Let's make that the bottom of our, call that the bottom of our beard. All right, bottom of the beard, bottom of the nose. Let's get this hat worked in here too. Take those points off of here. We'll cut in that hat. Okay, we can do that all the way around here. Go a little bit lower the sides, but I don't want to go, see how I attack that one? I don't want to go too much down here because I want to save some ear space there, so don't want to go in a long angle. That's a sharp angle. And then the back as well. I'll just dig that in. Like I said, we're going to go a little bit lower. That's the line. We'll drop it down 1/4 inch. Just to give that hat a little bit of a tilt. Alright. Just roughing her all in. All right. Okay, there's our bottom of our hat. Nose. Let's just block off these ears right now. All right. We're gonna round them after. Just so we know where they are. There, big blocky ears. Big points off the hat. We're gonna make a big brim on this hat. Before we do that, we might as well round it a bit. Good grief. I paused for a minute, I looked at the camera and it didn't look like it was filming. Oh, that would suck. Alright. So we got that hat fairly round, and all we really care about the round is the brim. What a nice round shape. Dogs are out there scrapping. Or loudly playing with each other. Okay, now we're going to draw this brim of the hat, but I'd like to go a little bit heavy on the brim, and then we're going to cut it on an angle after. Just kind of, you know what, for speed's sake, I'm just going to take a V-tool here. We'll just run that around. I'm giving it a good 1/4 inch here. There. Just like that. Now I'm just going to start bringing that down all the way around. It was a snow day here today, finally. We got some snow again. Kids had no school. Buses were all canceled. But it doesn't look like it's going to last either. We're talking about warmer temps end of the weekend again, so crazy winter. Almost non-existent. So I'm just looking at trying to get a consistent edge around the hat, consistent width. Alright. There we're getting there. Now you can see the where am I here? You can see the angle of the hat here coming down. That top has to do the same thing before we get too far. Let's just start cutting that on an angle. If your knife doesn't make nice, shiny, smooth cuts on the end grain, go back and sharpen it again. I just sharpened this baby up, or stropped it up before I started, so it's good. Alright, I'm going to take a big corner off of here too. Alright. Now I'm just going to go from that, make some nice long cuts from the top of the hat to the brim. Give it a real nice shape. We still have to add the hat band and the buckle after, so that'll give us a little more depth here, but we really want that crowned out shape on the hat. But if we can get this nice long cuts, that'll be nice. Right from the top. All right. Okay, that's looking nice. Now you see how we got that nice wide brim. I'm not going to do it right now, but all we're going to do is go halfway or so, right, up. Just going to angle that. What the heck, let's go all the way around. Going to give that nice little angle. Clean up that little joint there. And that will be the top of our hat minus the strap and buckle. All right. Like so. So we got to undercut that hat more after. But in the meantime, let's work on this nose area and get the eye, little eyelids set. So going a bit of an angle on these nose, on this nose. Gonna angle the sides, flare them out a bit. All right. Okay, let's give it a good, good ½ inch. Let's do that. I'll just bring that down. See how my knife is on an angle like that. Start working our way. We want a nice, good angle, so that there's a nice point here going each direction. All right, I'm going to bring it down just a little bit more. Always checking that the we got a line here, so we can see that's a 5/16. We want to keep it all centered. Okay, that's not bad for now. See that? I can bring that, like I said, I'll undercut that hat a bit more. Round that a bit. Okay, take our pencil now. Let's shape this nose up here. That's crazy. Do both sides the same. Right, and we want to go in like that. We never want to cut into the nose. We always want to be either perfectly straight or on a bit of an angle out. Right? Take the sides off. Right, now we can bring that right around. Bring that around. Up. Okay. Okay. Now we'll just shape that nose a bit. Bring the sides in from the bottom a little bit. Take that big point off the bottom. round it over. Okay, I don't like that. More angle. Swooping that in. All right. Let's make that narrower. I narrow the top, then it was more too blocky. Now we can. Okay, let's go up and reset this little eye ledge there. I don't have a better word for it. I call it eye shelf, but that's not what it's called. That's center line. That's the point between our eyes. Center of our nose. Angled back each way. You can see that angle. Okay. I'll take my V tool here. I'm going to run it up this this line here. Not that we're really going to fully shape the ears yet, but I wanted to have that set. I can work into that. Taking that edge off of there. Yeah. There, that thins up the head. Now, let's take our pencil here. That's the bottom of the beard. That's going to be in front of the ears is where we're going to come out. So let's get a rough idea where that beard is actually going to be. Come right down the edge of that ear. Now by doing that, that's automatically going to include the sideburns. So that strap, when it comes down, is going to be like so, right? And that will give us our sideburns on the side. Okay? So, I'm going to do the outside here first. Just going to run my knife around there. Fairly deep. This way. Alright, and then back. And before we do the inside, we're going to have to get those ears all set. But all right, that's where we are right now. All right, let's get these ears kind of in place here. Now you can see here as my beard comes up here, I want to carry that on a little bit. So I'm going to take my knife here. I'm just going to take that angle there. See with the beard? I'm going to kind of come up on that angle like that. All right. Just kind of flattening this area out. See that? How that comes up? So it's the beard sideburn area here is one continuous flow here, right? Same with this side. Just gonna keep that coming right up. Right like that. one comes in a bit. A bit more. A bit more. All right. All right, and we'll just flatten these. Just kind of scooping that ear out a bit for now. We got to cut the shape and the back off it still, but we're free to scoop this out a little bit. Now my deep research shows that the leprechaun ear, the leprechaun is a relative of elves. So they get the old elf ear routine here. So I'm going to come down on the side here. Just give that ear a bit of a point if I can. A little bit of a point. Okay, and then we'll bring this down. Alright. There we go. There's more of our elf. Okay. Same on this side. Okay, let's just round this round. We gotta scoop that out even more. See, I'm taking a hollow out of there. See, I got the little scoop in there. I'm gonna take the back side now. See that? Just gonna cut that. Just like so. Now that ear is just gonna pop right out of the head now. Now it's an ear. I'm not going to get carried away with details on the ears, just as long as they're there. And that point is visible. All right. All right, see that? If you want to hollow it out a little bit more, you can take like a little gouge, just kind of go in like that. Right. But I'll do the same thing on the other ear and save some time and come back. All right, we're back again. Here's our ears are all done here. See that? See the back sides. You can clean that up a little bit after in the backs, but that's our basic ear. We can see our got an issue going on in the back here. We gotta round the back of his head up to the hat. Right. We also need, cut a bit of the ear there. We also need a hairline, so we can show a little bit of neck here. And that's going to start right in here. So this is a corner that's actually going to get cut out. That, and then we need our hair. Let's make it up here. All right? Just so that we can see a bit of the neck. All right. So we're going to have to dig this right in here. That's going to make that beard pop a little more here. All right. Then we just go right around. back too. A bust doesn't really have the bottom finished too well, but you gotta have a bit of that shape to the back. All right. That's a point still. Lose that. Alright, I'm going to take a bit of this there. Start the hair behind the ear proper. See that? So I got the hairline coming down and across. Right. Here, same thing. Down across, I go up, nice sharp hairline here. All right, you get the point, bit of a neck here, behind the ear. So we got the ear, come down the hairline, like that, and the shoulders. Working on the bottom of this beard here, giving it a bit of a angle, coming around. I think I'd like to make that a little bit deeper. That's better. It's easier when the shoulders are where they belong to now. Right, let's get that strap in place. A little strap beard. And we're going to go a little bit heavier on the bottom. Starting on the side here, let's go in front of the ears. We're going to kind of curl it around a little bit. Makes it a little bit heavier on the bottom. Maybe for fun, I'll take my V tool. Just outline it. V tool's handy. That's just a safe way to see if you like the look of something before you stick your knife in there and dig too deep. Alright, now that looks pretty goofy looking, but you'll see. Stick my knife in there. All the way around. Alright. And down the other way. Now this can all be brought down and rounded into the top of the beard. All right. Round all these edges off, nice and smooth. Come down. There we go. And the same thing with the beard. Around that edge off. Alright, getting there. Not too bad. Now, if you see this guy's eyes here, these are full eyes with no eyelids. And it's maybe it's a little too much eye. So I'm going to do this again. Only we're going to do eyelids on this one. Alright. So I'm going to do it the same way. Just going to dig in here. Come down. But after the fact, we'll do the same thing again with the eyelids. Alright. Coming right around. Okay, I'm going to cut up underneath that cut. Side. Gonna get a little extra out of the corner, a little bit more depth in there. All right. Take a little more chip out of the corner there. Alright, now we've got a lot of meat left up here. Do some eyelids. Doesn't take much. Yeah. Let's just draw in some eyeballs for visual sake. Alright, he's got eyes. Now, let's take our little smile lines here. Cut them in. Nice and deep. All right. All right, I'm going to cut under the nose. I'm gonna slice that right up under the nose. Here too, under the nose, and slice her from the bottom right up under the nose. That makes them stand out nicely. All right. Give him a little goofy little smile. See that one? All right, bottom. An odd expression. Alright, now I'm going to put my little chip on the end there. Take a little corner on the top and the bottom. See how that just ends that smile? Or that look? Scowl, whatever you want to call it. Alright, see that? There you go. I'm just gonna undercut that lip. Give it a bit of a bottom lip. Give him a bit of the bottom lip, not it. All right. All right. Now, if you have a Dockyard tool, I've got one here. This is a 4mm. I like to stick it under the nose, like that. Like that. Yeah. Take those little chips out. And give them a little snot trough. There. All right. There. I'm gonna take my V-tool too and give a little extra line there. Both sides beside the smile lines. A little more character there. Another wrinkle. There we go. Alright. His nose is pretty big still. Anyway, we'll let it go. See these points on the head here? This is a no. We're gonna round these in like that. Give it a little 3-corner cut in there. Get a little shadow in the forehead corner. Same on this side. Okay, let's round her all up. There we go. I really don't like his nose. What can we do? Let's take it down a bit. Too much nose. Actually, that's already better. Round it a bit. that. All right, where are we at here? We can put a little line on each side here. Like I said, I don't want to get carried away with giving them too much on the bottom, but this isn't much to do. Give them some arms. Yeah. All right. Okay, that's where we're at. Let's draw a big buckle. Big buckle on his head. Hat. Alright, not that big enough. A big strap on his hat. And we're in the final stretch here. Alright. So first thing I'm going to do is going to cut the buckle in. Give it a little prominence before we do the strap. Alright. We're going to paint that gold, so it's going to really be a focal point. Alright. Now it doesn't have to be super fancy. All I usually do is give it the square like that, and then I'll just draw a little rectangle inside. You can see that? And then I'll just cut that in. That way the buckle itself will be gold, and that'll be the belt color inside. Alright, that's basically all I do. Alright, now we can just run that belt around there. See what I'm doing there. So I'm just going to do that all around the hat and clean up that buckle, and we're on the home stretch. I'll see you when the hat's all done. All right. There is our headband. Way around. Okay, well, looking at this guy, I think we're ready to just put some whiskers. Actually, no, I lied. I want to separate the eyeballs. For some reason, I didn't do that. A little V cut in there. There we go. So let's just go. I'm just going to put a bunch of V cuts all around. And see, for the beard here, I'll go this way, and then I'll go this way, and then I'll do the bottom like that. Since they're really short, there's no, you can't really get much for squiggles in there. So we're just going to do like 3 parts. Bottom, flat, and then into the face. Right? Alright, you get the idea. I'm going to finish up. I'll do the hair, and we'll come back and we'll wet her up and have a good look. Alright, there's our whiskers all done. Some hair on the back of his head. But he's looking pretty good. But I think I might as well see if we can't get some kind of a eyebrow here. Something just to do it right, right? If you're gonna do it right. I'm gonna dig my knife in here nervously. Right. And just roll that up. Right. That's all it takes. A little roll. That wasn't so bad. And just a couple little nicks with the V-tool. Then we can bring some of that color from his hair over. And we did it right. We didn't cheap out without doing that. So. All right. Let me grab my little spray bottle here. I missed them all up here. People always say, what do you do that for? And it's just a little trick I got from Gene Messer back in the day. And it just really shows a finished project. And anything that you might want to fix up, it just gives you some depth and some shadows. So, but I would say this fella's ready for paint. So let's head on over to the paint table. You know, just before you go to paint, look over your carvings. Make sure every little cut, if you got a little V, cut a little bit deeper. Nice little sharp edges here, there. No fuzzies allowed. If you're getting fuzzies, go sharpen your knife again. And you want every cut to be neat and clean with nothing extra. No fuzzies. All right? But that man is ready for paint. Before we start painting here, I wanted to show you my new paint rack. I made myself a little painting corner here on an old sewing machine base, and I can just slide my chair over, and I don't have to keep putting my paint stuff away all the time. So yeah, that's what I did. Alright, some of the paints I'm going to use, I've got white for the eye, I've got a citrus green, I'm going to give him a green eyes, black for the pupils and the hat band, paprika I like for the hair, give him a red Irish, red-haired Irishman. I got classic green for the hat and the jacket. Got some gold here, but when I mix this, I like to mix about 8 drops to 8 drops of water to 1 drop of paint. That way, it's will really soak in. I'll just give you a little. See how that soaks in? It's like a stain. All right. So I'm going to go around and I'll show you all the little colors, but we won't drag this out and make you watch the whole process. But as you can see, 8 drops of water to 1 drop of paint gives you that nice stain look. All right. A little bit of white on the eyeballs. White is solid. No watered down paint here. All right. Watered down paprika for the hair. Like so. Like so. Like so. And a little bit of gold here on the buckle. Like so. And I'm just going to go over the whole thing with some linseed oil. Give a little skin tone. I should have mentioned before, you could have easily just done a real light skin tone paint for the face, but I always like to use a little bit of linseed oil. Being very careful with my rags afterwards that I don't leave them laying around. I usually burn them in the wood stove. But this linseed oil has a little bit of raw sienna in it, and that gives it just a little bit of color. But I'll do the whole thing, and then I'm going to do a little bit of super duper watered down red for the cheeks while the linseed oil is on here, wet, and then I can smudge it around a bit. I've got a premix of red here, really watered down. I'm just gonna dab it on the lips, give it just a little bit of color. Same thing with the cheeks. Then I'll do the ears. Just give it a little bit of a pinkish color to the cheeks, nose, and ears. All right, just before our grand reveal, I just want to give a big shout out to the Patreon supporters. I appreciate you, and you know what? It's turned out to be like a nice little encouragement for me, so I appreciate it. But without further ado, let's do the grand reveal of our little leprechaun bust. First time I ever did a bust on this channel, and I like it. It was fun. I'm a little bit torn. My prototype had a black hat, and I could go either way with the hat, of black or green. But yeah, I do like a little bit taller hat for sure. So anyway, that's our little man, and that is our video. So thanks for watching, guys, and I will catch you in the next one, and who knows what we'll be up to. See you later.